we have really enjoyed Chelsea going through the books in the library, especially the new cookbooks, to be able to, for her to review them, give her undivided review, do a demo, and let us know, is this a book we should buy, borrow, put on our library shelf at home, or use and bring it back, you know, all of those things. We're going to keep this going. This series has just been a way for us to highlight both our new cookbooks, which we get a lot of. We are very well stocked library with cookbooks, and it also gives us a chance to have Chelsea continue her monthly cooking demos for us that she did at the library before, and that we're all used to. So it's a win-win, and we're thrilled. And Chelsea is in a new location. And I'd like to say hello and thank you to Chelsea and tell us all about what's going on.
Okay. Hi. So I'm glad to be back. After I feel like it's a vacation, online vacation, but I'm glad to be back here with everybody. And I like the idea of us keeping up with the cookbook. First of all, I'm Chef Z. Carter, and I'm a food columnist, chef, mom, grandmom, grandmimi, and I have a cooking school. Last year we had a cooking school and cafe. We have since closed our cafe and realized we prefer to teach cooking classes. We love the cafe and the people and serving them. But you know, especially as you get older, you gotta make some decisions. And so we decided that we just love teaching. That was what we did for 10 plus years. The cafe gave us a taste of what it was like owning a restaurant, and it's a lot of hard work. And with everything that's going on, you know, we just decided just to kind of step out, but we still love teaching cooking classes, and that's where our heart is. That's where our heart truly is. So we moved to a new space that was more friendly for our cooking classes, and we call it a creative space as well, because not only here at our new location, we teach cooking classes, but we also open our space up for creative classes. So we've invited people from around the community who are experts in their field, like sewing. I call it your Pinterest list. You know, things that you see on Pinterest, you know, that you want to check off, but you realize, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff that I need to invest, you know, a lot of time. And we've all seen those Pinterest fails. You know, none of us want to go through that. And so we like a creative space here because it gives you an opportunity to be creative, and you don't have to go in Hobby Lobby, spend all your money and do all the stuff, and you actually get someone who maybe an expert or someone who has honed that particular craft and can teach it to you. So I'm really excited about that. And this has been in like a month. So we wanted to still have our state licensure for being a restaurant, because I still like to cater. So there were some things that we have to do to kind of tweak the building to make it friendly. So that's what we're waiting on. But once that happens, the space it's a go. So I like it. Our new location is actually, I think it's 4 blocks west of our old location, same street. So I think it's easier to get to. We have our own parking lot here, so there's a lot of friendlier things about the building that we like too. And so, you know, besides cooking, dancing, crafts, all that stuff, we're excited. So back to the book, the real reason why you came here. So let me find my notes here. So remember, this is a new space, so like all new spaces, I think I've just gotten used to the space in our old location, and then we had to go from there and come here, so it's it's been a challenge. So one thing after the other, but we'll we'll eventually get it. Probably this time next year we'll be comfortable. But I think it's like in your home, and I think Debbie, you can attest to that. Like you never are totally like. There's always something, a project you want to do, and you never say there.
Yes, that is true.
You always get to there's something else. So I think that's the same thing with here, but that's okay. It's all cool beans, right? I tried to write this big enough. As I see that as I age, my hearing. Again, this is the Cool Beans book by Joe Yonan, and he's a food editor with the Washington Post. So I try to look at those articles a lot because the Daily Commercial, they're part of our sister company. So I like to look and see what the other fellow writers are writing about and their style of writing and things like that. This is his third cookbook. The first two were eat your vegetables and serve yourself. And he primarily likes to do plant-based recipes. I wouldn't necessarily say vegan, but for the most part, they are vegan and vegetarian friendly, the majority of his recipes. His food coverage and leadership has won him awards from James Beard Foundation and the Association of Food Writers. So he's a pretty adept writer, and he varies things. And not only is this book a nice cookbook, it has a nice introduction that really makes it a good read. I like that the author also is, even though he was born in Georgia and raised in Texas, this is the author. His mother was born in India, and his grandparents were refugees from the intersection of Turkey, Iran, and Iraq. So he has a lot of Middle Eastern influence in his cooking, but he also has that southern little panache to his cooking as well. So I thought, to me, culture from a food book, for a cookbook, has a lot to do with the writer and the recipes that you're going to expect from him, and that he doesn't lag inside of this cookbook. You can see the Middle Eastern influences all throughout the cookbook, but it isn't just a Middle Eastern cookbook. But you can see other Mexican, like today, or Latin American influences in this as well. He does live in Washington, D.C. with his partner and his pets. And in the introduction of this book, isn't this a color? No one would think that beans are this colorful. I mean, I think typically when we think of beans, we think of red, black-eyed pea, green beans, all the beans you don't want to eat. So when I opened up and saw these like cow beans, I was like, wow. And I knew I've seen the pink and white speckled beans, but I actually hadn't saw these particular beans. So I was really intrigued once I saw that. The introduction of this book, if you're a reader, you'll actually like this. Like I like the photography in this book as well. But his introduction, it is a good read as well at several pages. But in the introduction, he talks about his insight, his appreciation for beans, their history, their importance to many cultures, and the world, what really inspired him. So I think it was really, really spectacular how he writes this. And also, this is like a quick quote from his book, is he says, "The world of beans is large, and in this book, I'm concerning myself primarily with pulses, the dried seeds of legumes, and the larger beans." So he doesn't do there's only I think one or two recipes that have like green beans, and that's because they're an addition to, but they aren't the bulk of the recipe. And so he really gets into beans that are unique and that are hearty and that are going to really make up the bulk of the recipe. He also in this book gives you tips on how to use the book, So yeah, you get how to use the book, techniques, preparation, which I really liked because he talks about soaking versus not soaking, substitutes, cooking methods, and storage of beans. So he really gets down into beans because it's more than just dry or pre-cooked beans. He gets down to, if you do soak the beans, the best way to soak the beans and things like that. But it isn't technically difficult, so anyone can pick up this book and actually get a lot from it and wouldn't be turned off. Sometimes I read some cookbooks and they are quite involved and it turns me off because I want a cookbook that I can pick up and know that there's at least 5 or 6 really good recipes that don't make me have to get all involved in a whole bunch of different things that I really don't want to get all mashed up in. So that really helps me out a lot. And I like this book too because we're talking about beans. So this bean even talks about the elephant in the room, or should I say the smell in the room. Because how can you not talk about beans and not talk about flatulence? So he even talks about that. He talks about why beans give us flatulence, and then how to introduce them into your diet to possibly curb that or lessen that or don't have any at all. And you know, it's the type of carbohydrate that beans are, that they have. And one of the things that he says that I know too is by slowly introducing them into your diet, you can really alleviate that. So, and it's just fiber, it's a lot of fiber. So if you start slow with beans, then you can benefit from it. And we also know that beans have a lot of protein. So I think that's really good. If you guys have questions during this class, please feel free to ask. That's what I'm here for. I have a book in front of me so I can kind of flip through it. Debbie, how many copies of this book do you have at the library?
We have 2.
It's 2 copies.
See, you have 1.
Oh, I have 1. I'll give it back today because, like all the other books, I already ordered my copy. If I like it, then I give you one. If not, you know, it's a nice look at the library. Here you go. So just know that's for future reference. But and it's just that I already have like over 100 cookbooks, so I need to be choosy too, or get rid of some of the ones that I haven't been able to purge yet. So I have to make, you know, a smart decision. So, but I like this book because me and my family are flexitarians. That means we'll eat meat if you put it in front of us, and we won't make you change your menu. But if we have our choice, sometimes we're going to try for a vegetarian meal. And this book is great because we don't mind beans in our house. So I thought this was wonderful. Like I said, the photography is beautiful. There's a couple things in here that I see the picture and I'm like, I don't want to eat that. But then I realized what it is, like black. When you see black beans and certain things, they are kind of offish, but but that's how it goes. And then I really just like this book. I want to show you guys this. I love this picture. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Mm-hmm. You know, and these beans in here, they aren't like your typical beans. You know, have you ever seen black chickpeas before? Did you even know they existed?
No.
I know, see, so there's like, you know, black chickpeas, they have yellow lentils, zucchini, royal cardona, of course, black eyed peas, Christmas limeless. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Jacob's cattle beans, lentils du pie. And not only does he use these different beans, but also in the back in the sources section, he actually tells you where you can get a lot of these beans. So I thought that was great, that there's actually a section that tells you where to get these beans. And I suggest that you, somebody's calling me.
We're looking at each other.
Is that you? Hey, Z, what you doing? I'm teaching live Facebook class. But let me tell you one thing that I was going through, and this is even before Christmas, because I had this book for a while, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the lupini beans in this one particular recipe. And I kept saying, oh, I'm gonna not use it. If I don't get the beans, I won't use it. I'll go back and do something else. But I really, really liked the recipe, and I really wanted to give it a try. So I ordered the beans via Amazon because it was the first place I could find them like that would get them to me fast. So they say that didn't happen. I think my first bottle got broken because it said it was damaged in transit, so I didn't get my first one. Then the second one was supposed to come last week, then they pushed it back to Saturday, then it said it's going to come Sunday and Monday. Well, it says you get it between 11th and 12th. Well, today's 12th. So probably when I get home, my beans will be there waiting for me. And I really wanted to share these beans with you guys, and then I look on here in the book and I go, oh, I could have got the beans from someplace else. So that's my fault. But make sure that, if you're going to do one of these recipes and you're going to use some of the unique beans in here, plan far further ahead than I did to make sure you get your beans or you can locate them first. The lupini beans, they aren't really hard to find, but they're like the new soybean. So they're really starting to catch on, and I can guarantee you probably by the end of the year, you'll start to see more of them. They are a staple in like Italian diets and things like that, and some kind of hone them as the new soybean. So they're going to start showing up more and more. You can buy them dried, but they're best if you have them pre-cooked because they need to be cooked several times in order to make them edible. And so a lot of times when they're processed, they're pre-cooked and then they're soaked in a brine. So that's why I really wanted to get them because they were going to be briny. And so that was a whole new flavor for beans because I'm Southern. So, I'm used to my beans being savory and sometimes with a tinge of sweet with our beans because when we make our lima beans, sometimes they tend to be more on the sweet side. That's just in my family. I don't know if it's anybody else's, but in my family, like our lima beans are black eyed peas are more savory. So to taste some beans that kind of were in a brine that has more of a salty, tangy taste to them, I really was looking forward to that. Well, I still will because I can guarantee you by the time I get home, the beans will probably be there. So, but that's not going to stop me from making this recipe because they actually give you a substitute for them. So the substitute that I have for those beans are actually lima beans. So that is the substitute because he does go through that too. If you don't have this bean can be substituted. And while you won't get the exact flavor, you might get some of the characteristics of what he was trying to go through with with it being, with a particular recipe. So then, let me just tell you real quick the different chapters in the book and let you also see the recipes too. So there's dips and snacks, which is really cool. So the dips and snacks. And of course, there's hummus. Duh. But he also has like a bean spread with carrots and onions and lemon, and they're roasted. And I thought, oh, this looks so delicious. Let me move this over here. It looks so delicious. This is a recipe I definitely want to try because I love roast carrots. So, and like I said, the photography in here is beautiful. Then there was also this Edwardian lupini bean and ceviche. This is what we're going to do. Minus the avocado, because I don't know where my avocado is. And avocados, I think it's only in for garnish, so sorry guys, I won't get a taste of avocado. I guess I have to go back to Publix and say, y'all see my avocado? So, but we'll have the essence of that, and it's just the way the cookie crumbles for Chef C, because that's how it works. Then we have salad. Oh yeah, and when I saw salad, I'm like, yeah, you saw that 3-bean salad in there. But I remember he said he but there is a three bean salad with feta and parsley, but it doesn't look like what you think it does. So that was a relief. But I like he does this falafel fattoush, and it kind of reminds me of the Italian bread salad. But this is with the it reminds you of the falafel with the pita, and so it's a bread salad. And I thought, again, look at it, how beautiful it is. It's so pretty. I just thought that was really, really nice. I told you guys these are some really nice pictures. And then the winter salad. And I thought, oh, Z, you should have did this. But you want to do the baked acorn squash with it. And it uses whiter cannella beans. And I just didn't want to deal with acorn squash. That's true. But what you do, because you can just take the acorn squash and just slice it up and put it in the oven, and that's all it is. It's just roasting it. So while it's not difficult, it's just a matter of what your preference is. Also, the Christmas lima beans and kale with cherry tomato salad. This is really pretty too, and this is definitely on my list because this salad is basically roasted. And then you just add all the things and you toss the beans in and make a nice light dressing. So I thought that was wonderful with just beans. I thought that was just, looks like it's going to taste good. And I like kale. The next chapter is soups, stews, and soupy sides. Never heard it like that. It's a tongue twister. Soupy side. So again, he has several. I mean, look at all these recipes. This book is chock full of recipes. I love it. And I thought, when I said she's gonna give me a book of beans, it's gonna be just a book of stews. It's just gonna give me gas. I'm so tired of looking at it. And I was amazed. There's so much more to beans than just a soup. But of course, we have our this Nigerian stewed black-eyed peas, because there's the black-eyed peas, and plantains. So I liked it because there was a lot of different flavor representations. Like I told you guys, they were going to be in here. Here's one, Nigeria. So, and I think I might use an adaptation of this class in my flavors of Africa class next month. Just a little hint, that's going to be in there. This is a Tanzanian soup. So see, I told you there was going to be flavors from all over the place, and look how gorgeous that is. And a lot of these recipes, whatever bean he tells you to use in here, if you can't find it canned, he tells you how to process it from being dry. So I like that too. It doesn't leave you hanging. The instructions are going to say, okay, with this bean, you're going to need to do this, that, and the other. And the instructions may look lengthy, especially with a recipe that's not familiar to our cooking. So I like that he does explain it out. And that way when you go to repeat it and do it again, it becomes familiar. And these instructions don't seem so cumbersome. But for your efforts, he did explain it out. So I could really appreciate that. The normal, usually I see all of these instructions and I go, never mind. That's usually what gets to me. So next we have the burger, sandwiches, wraps, tacos, and pizza. Can you believe that? Wow. With beans? I know. Well, okay, bean burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so you go bean burger, of course. But he even has the mushroom burger with like the bean spread and things like that. So, I was really surprised. There's that one. Here it is. Mushroom and kidney bean burgers. So, they are, look at that picture, it's so pretty. I would definitely eat that. And then the pizza. So it's fava, ricotta, and lemon pizza. So isn't that cool? And I hate this, it's so funny. And those of you who know, with that new show, Clarice, coming out, the guy in the Silence of the Lambs, that was his thing. It was the fava beans.
Oh, that's
Okay, so I'm off of that. But it looks tasty, you know, it has some qualities in it, so. Then there's casseroles and hearty main courses. You guys, there's ratatouille in here. Ratatouille, and you don't think about ratatouille, here it is. Ratatouille cassoulette. Can you believe that with the beans in it? I never thought about that. You know, because with ratatouille, you're only just thinking about your summer squash and your tomatoes, you know, and the herbs, because that's basically what ratatouille is. But he takes it a little bit further and puts those beans in there, and you know, so I thought this looks delicious. It's worth a try. I'm telling you, that's why I got my own copy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you've purchased almost every book you've done so far.
I think I have.
Yeah. So we're doing good.
Yeah, you are doing good. Good for you, Debbie. Now this I am going to try really, really soon. I think I might even try this sometime next week. I'm going to put this on my grocery list. This is a paella. Yeah, so it's paella and it's got the rice, but instead of the meat, and you have the peppers are in here. I thought I had wrote it down, but the shishito peppers with chickpeas, and then it has the green beans, but those aren't the star. It's the chickpeas. So there's your protein. But I like the shishitos because, not really fun to say, but I like because it's a toss-up because you might get one that's hot, but for the most part they aren't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's I like eating those too, and they give a nice flavor. They wake those up. So I can't wait to taste that one. That's really gonna be really good. And then, okay, I was like, you know what? It's okay. You have avocado, you know, you have avocado ice cream, avocado this, avocado that. And then when I saw the last chapter, I went, really? Desserts and drinks with beans? And then I thought about, okay, when you go to the, the tropical cafe, and you ask for your smoothie, and they ask you, what kind of protein do you want? One of the proteins is bean. Duh. So I thought, oh, cool, this is a good way to have a nice shake or a smoothie without having to use the bean powder. You can actually use bean. So there's actually a smoothie in here, a white bean smoothie, there's no picture, but a white bean smoothie with mango, coconut, mint, and ginger. Oh, oh my God, I did it wrong. And he's like, no, not like that. I should have made that. You don't think so, Tim? I think so. I think this would be great because there's your protein. Because what you would do is you would put protein powder in it. So you're not putting the protein powder in it, you're using the white beans. And white beans are like zucchini, you guys. They're virtually tasteless. You can eat that. I think I'll make some and bring it down to the library.
You should.
You guys, there's a recipe in here for chickpea pralines. Yeah, Tim's like, might get up into the pralines. Yeah. Oh, and it says there is a picture, so let me get the picture. Here's the picture. Right next to the brownies. These are like rose, red beans and rose brownies, but those are the chickpea pralines. So, that sounds interesting. You want to try some of those too, Tim? Anybody want to give that a try? Let me know. I'll come over and taste test it. Now, the piece de la resistance, I had to just wait till you guys weren't going to believe this. How about some red bean ice cream?
Oh. Ooh, that sounds yummy.
It does to you?
No, it doesn't.
I was like, really? But then I guess I could see that. We have avocado ice cream. Why not have red bean ice cream? So, and again, he really details it out. The recipe list is fairly short for the red bean ice cream. I'm not going to say I was going to do it, but if you make it and you want me to try it, let me know. Yeah, so I was just like, red bean ice cream. That is another one for another day. But I mean, it really, the desserts here, I was surprised. There is a 5-spice pumpkin oat muffin. plantain, black sesame, and white bean quick bread, cardamom, lime, and white bean bundt cake, mint chocolate chip and white bean oat cookies. So I guess you really can put beans in just about anything, So, but today I am going to go with Edwardian Lupini bean ceviche minus the avocado, because my avocado was somewhere playing around. I just don't believe I did that, but yes, I can believe me. I do stuff. So, the one thing with this recipe is that it's really easy. It puts beans in it, but it's ceviche. When you think of ceviche, you think about fish. And so he said, hey, all ceviche doesn't have to have fish or seafood in it. So I'm like, okay, if you say so, I guess I'll try it. So I went ahead and said, yeah, okay, I'll try it. But I want to, before we get started, because it is a fairly easy and quick recipe, kind of go through some of the ingredients. I have to put some red onion in here. So what I want to do is red onion in any dish when you eat it raw, you know that it can be very strong and overpowering. So one of the things I'm going to do with this red onion is, I'm just going to use part of it, is I'm going to just give it a little soak in some lime juice, and that's going to kind of cut that sting of the onion. Yeah.
That's a great tip. So you just soak it with lime juice, no sugar or water or anything like that?
Oh, you put a little bit of water.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're gonna just do some lime juice. And I'm gonna get this really thin. Because I don't, again, even though we're gonna soak it in lime juice, you don't want to bite. You don't want that big bite from it. So we'll just put some nice thin slices of the red onion. And we don't have to use too much. And you can slice it, in chop it in smaller pieces. And I'm just doing a little rough chop here because I don't want to pick it up and get real big long slivers, but I don't want it small either. So I got 2 small pieces of my onion here. Put those in the bowl. Now, if you like more onion, you can feel free to add more. The recipe calls for a whole small red onion. I like that much red onion so much. In there. It's making me cry already. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on that. There we go. Now, when you're making the ceviche, everybody knows this, that you want to make it with fresh citrus, because that acid, that onion is strong. I'm crying. You want to make it with fresh citrus because that is what, that acid is what cooks the fish or the shellfish that you're using. I'm still crying with tears. It's so good to cry. Whoa. Okay, so I've got that here. Just put a little bit of juice on it, and we'll just scoop those out. And if you want to, and I'm going to, hold on, we'll stick a little water over here. See, still getting used to the place. Little water. And we'll scoop those out when we get to the point where we're going to use them. So I also have some, I'm going to use some canned lima beans since my oranges. It's orange season in Florida. That's all I can say. So oranges are great this time of the year in Florida. It's orange season. And of course you saw my line. And then the recipe has, sliced tomato, but I wanted to use cherry tomatoes. I wanted to get a cherry tomato because I wanted to get that nice flavor from that. So wanted to get that. So it's really a good dump recipe. But we're gonna get some tomato paste. I love this tomato paste. I think everybody's seen me use this. About a tablespoon of this tomato paste. Excuse me. A tablespoon of this, which is not this whole thing, but a good tablespoon. And how many of you have opened up a can of tomato paste, got the tablespoon out of it, and then didn't need it anymore and go, what I do with this?
Yeah, all the time.
And although a can of tomato paste, you can buy 4 of them before you buy this too.
That's true.
But it's a waste.
I know.
So I know at least if I have this and this in the refrigerator, I got another 3 or 4 months off of it, before I waste it. So I really like using tomato paste that's in the tube because it's just more friendly. And so with that, so I got my tomato paste, and we're just gonna make the sauce that's gonna go with the beans, and then this is going to actually marinate. So you need to let it marinate 2 to 24 hours. The longer you let it sit, the more the flavors go in together, the better it's going to taste. The original recipe that has the lupini beans in them, lupini beans have like a thin outer shell. You can eat it, but it's kind of like almost eating shrimp shells.
Oh.
Not as bad, but it's just that it's one of those, you can eat it, but if you don't want to, you can just peel them. So what you do with those beans is that you just make a little slit and you just squeeze them out of their shell. So I really had a lot of time to kind of show you guys how to slice that and just squeeze them, but it's no big deal. But being that, with those beans, they soak the sauce up like really good in that, and so it helps it really combine the flavor. So we're going to put some of our lime juice in here. And again, remember the having everything fresh, the limes, the orange, that's really going to make everything really pop. And this says 2/3 a cup. If I was going to use that much, but I kind of cut down on my ingredients here, so I kind of half this recipe. Who wants to waste food? I wouldn't, but So I'm squeezing my limes. I'm going to get me a 1/3 of a cup here. And with limes, if you roll them, and so I've seen some people suggest putting them in the microwave, get them hot so they can release their juice. But I know giving them a good hard roll, pressing them down, that'll kind of help get the juice out. Or you can just use a citrus squeezer.
You have one? I don't.
I do. I'm sure I do somewhere, but I like to use a reamer sometimes too. Just kind of ream it in. But yeah. So we got the lime juice. So then we're gonna take up fresh orange. I'm gonna add orange juice. Sure, you can buy orange juice and put it in here, but like I said, the fresh acid from the juice the acid from the juice of a fresh squeezed orange is what I was trying to say. It's going to be better, and that is what is going to cook your ingredients. That's why people go, oh, that's raw, but the acid. There's a chemical component that happens to that. So we needed about a third a cup of orange juice, so I didn't use quite as much because I used half of the lime. Then we're going to use some neutral oil. I chose to use a lot of olive oil. I'm going to get that in there. And I think once you get through the ingredients for the sauce, or the marinated sauce, you're on the home stretch. We're going to use some freshly ground Himalayan salt, and fresh crushed black pepper. This is another reason I like this recipe. It is not complicated. It also has where you can use hot sauce, because ceviche is always great with hot sauce. So you can put hot sauce in with that as well. And it's just a nice, sauce. It's kind of something you would get from ceviche anyway. So you get all that stuff together. Then you're going to add some cilantro. So I've got that. We're going to mince this up. I rinsed this out during class, right before class, but I always tell people, make sure you get a good rinse of your cilantro, because they pull it straight from the ground, bunch it, and it goes straight in the grocery store, so it can tend to be on a little bit on the dirty side if you don't give it a good rinse. So I just kind of mix this up. This is how you're going to also get your authentic, wax flavor and cilantro. And you can always, I put some in there at the beginning, and you can put some in there at the end. I know some people don't really care for cilantro, but I do. I love cilantro. So I'm going to add my tomatoes in there. Then I'm going to add my lima beans, zucchini, or it even also said that you could substitute that fava beans in this as well. I was trying not to say
Well, I can't now.
I'm sorry. It's just so fun to say. That is fava beans. So let's pour our onions. That made me cry. You made me cry, onions. And they don't even smell as strong, too. That's good.
I'm going to do that for every recipe.
Yeah, and you can give them about 20 minutes. Now, in the original recipe, too, you actually would put the lupini beans and the onions together and soak them. So that would take out some of the brine in here as well. So that briny flavor tends to be strong. So we ask that you take it out. And this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. So just imagine if we sat here for 2 hours and stared at each other, how delicious this would actually look. Be for being able to sit that long. So let's take some of my stuff now so that you can see how pretty this looks. And I think I would take this and just put it in a jar and let it sit, for a couple days, and either eat it like this with chips, or even put it on another salad, or even have it as a little meal with something or a side. Because I think it looks prettier with this. So you guys, just because that's what I do. I make mistakes, but but just imagine this with some fresh avocado. Because that would really, avocado would really suck up that flavor a lot.
Yeah.
So you can see how pretty that is.
Ooh, nice.
Look what I did. So,
You said put it in a jar and then refrigerate?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it needs to sit together between 2 to 24 hours to let those flavors all combine. And the avocado, there's actually avocado and corn nut, but I got me some sunflower seeds, and I think just to give you a little crunch. Corn nuts, you probably aren't going to find too much this time of the year, but you probably would. And the avocado, you don't want to put it in till the end when you're ready to serve it, because then it'll get kind of mushy and turn its colors on you as well. So that is really some sunflower seeds would make this really nice. Give it that little crunch that you were missing from corn nuts.
What are corn nuts?
Corn nuts.
Nuts are corn.
Roasted corn. Mm-hmm.
Oh, roasted corn. Okay.
They're really hard and crunchy. So, yeah, that is my bean ceviche from the Cool Beans. Like I said, minus the avocado, but once you put that avocado in there, wake the flavor up, make it not be so heavy and stuff, but it's a really good salad. I'm going to be able to share it with you guys. So.
Awesome.
That's that. I appreciate everybody for hanging out with me. I can't wait to do next month's book, which is tomorrow Sunday.
Every day is Sunday.
Every day is Sunday. Yes, every day is Sunday. I knew it was something. Had it on my mind. So yes, and I tend to not. I get one book at a time. I've already been in the book, so I'm still deciding on what recipe I want to do in that book. But I like it. It's another good read, and I think I probably will be buying that book as well. So I look forward to what we're going to do next year. And I think if anybody has any suggestions too, I would definitely want to hear them. Even if we don't do them in this particular class, I would just like to read it, to be able to get the book and share it with you guys, even in my other class. And if you want to know more about my cooking school, you can go to thekitchencookingschool.com. kitchencookingschool.com. Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you everybody for joining. And again, one of the great things about this is that you don't have to go out and buy a new cookbook. You can come to the library,